Chicago Bulls finally get their first home win since November 21st. Chicago Bulls win against the Wizards 115 to 111. And all around, this was a good game from our big three who led the way for this game. In the first quarter, the Bulls actually had 9 assists in the first quarter of this ball game. The ball was moving around, and it was a lot more player movement. We saw Ayo Dosunmu pushing the fast break, scoring on the fast break, which is actually his best attribute. He's very good at scoring on the fast break. We saw some traps that happened in the first quarter. They was trapping the ball, and there was less ISO ball from DeMar DeRozan in the first quarter. That was a couple plays where he scored from the mid-range and scored off the ISO, but his shot just wasn't falling. So the Bulls actually resulted into more ball movement, more player movement. Zach LaVine was more aggressive on the defensive end, this deflecting passes and getting in the passing lane in this game. And it was very good to see that from our best player. He actually had 2 steals in this game. We've recently been seeing how he's been able to improve on both ends of the floor. Even in the last game, even though it was a loss, we saw that he actually had 4 steals. And in this game, he had those 2 key steals that helped us in this game. Now, the Bulls actually took 5 3-pointers in the second. 5 3-pointers in the second quarter, but they didn't fall. They only hit 1 of those 5 3-pointers that they took. Of course, Ayo Dosunmu was scoring on the break, and by the half, the Bulls actually had 18 assists. We had 18 assists by the end of the second quarter, but we had 8 turnovers that really changed the momentum of this game. So that way the Wizards actually, even though the Bulls came into the halftime break with the lead, the Wizards actually stayed in this game because of how many turnovers this Bulls team had and how many times they were able to score off of those turnovers. Now, when the third quarter started, the Wizards actually turned up the pressure. There was more driving from Kuzma. Even though Porzingis was 0, he didn't hit a single 3 in this game, but he started to be more aggressive in the paint. We started to see the momentum of the Bulls go more towards the Wizards, and that's only when we saw Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White, those bench players that came in the game, that brought us that energy. When they got out of the game, the momentum started to shift. But the key possessions of this game is really the improvement of Vucevic. We saw a 25-11 game from Vucevic, 3 for 5 from the 3, 2 steals, 2 blocks. This was a really all-around game from Nikola Vucevic. DeRozan had 27 points. He had 7 rebounds and 4 assists. And also Zach LaVine hit some very key threes in the fourth quarter. He actually hit 3 back-to-back threes, scoring 9 points, straight points in the fourth quarter, but he had 15 in the fourth quarter in general. DeMar DeRozan had 14 points in the fourth quarter as well. Vucevic took over the third quarter, having 8 points in the third quarter. So we saw a very big effort from this team. We saw Zach LaVine get hot. We saw DeMar DeRozan started to go to his spots in the fourth quarter. Patrick Williams was being more aggressive, scoring in the post, recognizing the mismatches, scoring on the break. This was a very good game all around for this team. They started to win the 50-50 balls, and they started to get more steals in the fourth quarter. Even when the Wizards started to take the lead and they started to push, even though it was a close game in the fourth, the Bulls did not give up. But the key play from this game was in the fourth quarter when DeMar DeRozan actually had a steal. He got a steal and he threw the ball back into play, and then it was thrown down the court and started the fast break, and the Bulls was able to score. That was the key from this game, and the person who got that assist was none other than Alex Caruso himself. Alex Caruso had a big game. Even though he only scored 5 points in this game, he had 9 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals, and those steals were key. He had a lot of deflections in this game as well, stealing the ball from Porzingis, stopping the plays in the paint, really communicating to Zach LaVine and helping him on the defensive end, and also the team in general. This was a very good game for the Bulls. From our bench, we actually the leading scorer from the bench was Ayo Dosunmu, who was actually really aggressive, like I said earlier, on the break. And yeah, the Bulls win 115-111. This is the effort that we have to see from this team every game. We have to see this effort every single game, because from this effort that we saw from our big three, we was able to get 77 points from our big three. That is literally the majority of the Bulls' points. 77. We had an 11-point game from Patrick Williams, who was, like I said, was more aggressive in this game. And that was just what we wanted to see. That was what we needed to see in this first home victory that we had in over 2 weeks. We really needed to see this from the Bulls. Hope everyone enjoyed the game. Bulls basketball is back, y'all. Bulls is winning games. Even though it was a tough one, even though it wasn't pretty, the Bulls still got the win. A much needed win at home against the Wizards. Don't forget to hit the like button. Comment your thoughts from the game below. Hope everyone have a good day.